And says in Surah Al chapter 16 verse 43 and Surah Anbiya chapter number 21 verse number 7. Allah says, Fas'alu ahli zikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. If you don't know, ask the person knowledgeable. In the social media today, the most on average, of course the world population, about 60% of the world population use the internet. Of course, this is because many are kids, very old, they don't use, some parts of the world don't have, but 60% of the world population uses internet. That is about somewhere close to 4.8 billion people, or more than 5 billion people use internet. From this, the most popular social media is the Facebook. It has 2.95 billion monthly active users. 2.95 billion. The second is the YouTube, 2.6 billion. The third is the WhatsApp, over 2.1 billion. The fourth is the Instagram, over 2 billion monthly active users. Then you have the WeChat, then you have TikTok, then you have the Facebook Messenger, and so on and so forth. We target the top few what we can do in our own way. Each social media has its advantage and disadvantage. Then you have the Pinterest, then you have the Snapshot, and some media are more popular in some parts of the world as compared to others. Unfortunately, we Muslims have not been specialized. What's the difference between a Facebook and Instagram? Between a Pinterest and a Snapshot? Unfortunately, I feel ashamed that we Muslims are very weak. We have the budget. Allah has given us the money. Allah has given us the black gold. But unfortunately, we do not know how to use it, which is the most important weapon, that is the media. There are specialists available. Okay, you can hire a non-Muslim specialist, no problem. People are using the media to attack us, and we are doing nothing. When Muslims are doing some good event, people are using millions of dollars to attack us, and we are doing nothing. We are sitting doing what? Why don't you also hire specialists to counter? I remember when in UK, when I was banned, or rather I was excluded, we hired the best media specialist. Mark Clifford, he's number 1 in the world. Very expensive. But one of my fans, he khalas. There's the case against me, the UK government. We had the best of lawyers. We spent more than £1 million. My lawyer said 99.9% will win. My friend told me 95% will lose, but we give them a tough fight. We took them to Supreme Court, to the European Court. We had the best of media specialists, such a way that the Jewish people which wrote against me started writing articles in my favor. He put me onto the Oxford Union. I was the first Muslim religious leader to speak in Oxford Union. When Theresa May, when she was Home Secretary, she told the President, you cannot have him. He asked him, by which law are you telling me not to have? We believe in freedom of speech. We want to hear Dr. Zakir Naik. So we had a satellite in Bombay. We had a live telecast on the peaceful world saw it. She could not do anything. Then she became the Prime Minister. Then she was removed. I'm just telling you that we have to use. Allah says, Fas'alu ahli zikri in kuntum la ta'lamun. Don't know, ask the person expert. He may be a non-Muslim, no problem. Max Clifford, when we went to him, when my friend went to him, he said, Muslim, I don't want you. Only one is taken of Doddy, Doddy, who owns the Harrods of Diana. Doddy and Fire. Only his, because he had the money. So when my friend went, he refused. After next day, he gets a call. Maybe he went to the internet and saw Dr. Zakir Naik is. Then I go to meet him in Paris, because I can't go to UK. So he plans the strategy. My friend turned out to be right. We lost the case, but we won the battle. Peace TV continued for another more than 10 years. We lost the case, but we won the battle. I'm just trying to tell that we should know how to strategize ourselves. When an enemy is attacking us, we should know how to defend. We have a right. Today enemies are attacking us, we are doing nothing. Use the same media against them. We are doing some good work. Our enemies are using millions of dollars to attack us. What are we doing? Nothing. So media is the most important weapon in the world. And every media is a different strategy. Facebook is different, Instagram is different. We should know when to use what. And Alhamdulillah, it's all because of Allah. We are nothing. I always say I'm zero. I'm nothing without Allah. Allah helped us in a place where we cannot dream of doing dawah in Bombay, which was controlled at that time by the BJP and Shiv Sena. Allah made us have the largest Islamic English conference in the world. We could have to imagine, not that we were intelligent, not that we were great. Allah said. Alhamdulillah, we entered the Facebook. In 2012, they blocked my Facebook. The Indian government complained, they blocked. We became zero. It was a million, became zero. Then we learned, okay, what to do, how not to get it blocked. We did. Then we started from scratch in 2013. MashaAllah, today it is 23 million, more than 23 million followers. It is the largest English religious speaker in the world. No Christian, no Hindu has this following. Yes, of course, sportsman, Ronaldo has more. He has 150 million, 145, but he's a sportsman, singers, we aren't singers. But as far as English speaking religious speakers are concerned, whether Hindu or a Christian or a Muslim, alhamdulillah. So we have to learn the technology and utilize. Let me tell you very clearly, all this free social media, whether it be Facebook, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Pinterest, we cannot do dawah the way we want to do. Our hands are tied. That's the reason it was blocked. Depending upon so you have to study the policy. Today, Indian government is complaining to Facebook, it's not getting blocked. We learn what to say and what not to say. We cannot speak the full truth. Our hands are tied. What we can speak, we are doing because it's a free platform. With Peace TV, we can speak what we want to a great extent. But on social media, we cannot. People tell me, okay, why spend so much on satellite? Facebook is free. Facebook, I can put maximum 4 or 5 posts. YouTube, few minutes, 3 or 4. They don't know that Facebook controls. Previously, when I had 4 million followers, they used to send to every follower, maybe 3.8 million used to read it. Today, they send to less than 2% or 5%. You have to pay for it. We don't pay. All is organic. You want to send to all, you have to pay money. We don't have to pay money. So everything, you cannot say many things. Twitter is not giving me the official. Instagram is not giving me the official blue tick. So that I don't get followers, they can control you. So be prepared, you should have a second line of defense. These media is utilized the way you can. You cannot say everything what you can say. People aren't aware of the policies of these big giants. Yes, you have a separate media called as the paid media, and the best paid media in the world today in terms of volume it is Netflix, which had more than 200 million subscribers. But Netflix again has its own bandwidth. It's on cloud front. So last year, mashallah, we launched our own platform called Al Hidayah, which is the largest Islamic video platform in the world, video on demand. We merged it with the LMS, Learning Management System, where we have programs, where we have learning management system, we have courses, Islamic courses. So we studied all the courses done by the Islamic, we studied them, then we were to the non-Muslim. We studied and we launched our own Al Hidayah in terms of quality, alhamdulillah. Netflix is a movie. They have got different genres, romance, action, thriller, etc. We have our own, whether you're on lecture, whether you're on debate, whether TV talk, whether group discussion, children program, and so on and so forth. Then we have different types, whether you're on fiqh, you're on tafsir, you're on hadith, you're on dawah, you're on Christianity, Hinduism, 50 more than that. We have 2 sections, one of Dr. Zakir Naik, myself and my son, and the other we have other speakers, 40 best Islamic speakers in English. We have 2 sections of the platform. And this is the first media that we started with paid, and the reason was people are keeping it paid. If I keep it free, I can't afford it. You may not be aware that the bandwidth is very expensive. If all the Peace TV viewers come to my Al Hidayah, you know what will be the cost of the bandwidth? Netflix is spending more than $1 billion every year only on bandwidth. I can't afford it. $1 billion, yes. So bandwidth is expensive. If you have the cheap bandwidth that is free, we want quality, we want 4K, 8K. So the bandwidth that we are on Amazon, we got a good discount, but not as much as Netflix. We cannot compete with them. So there are different strategies. This, to close down our Al Hidayah, is very difficult. Unlike Facebook, we close overnight. Whether it be YouTube, whether it be Instagram, whether it be Twitter, overnight. This, more difficult, not that's impossible. So you have to study how you can reach the masses, and we should utilize this. This was talking about Dawah as far as media is concerned. I'll just wind up in the next 5 minutes so that we can have a break, I think, for the Asr Salah, inshallah. The last is, the best Dawah is one-to-one. That's what the Prophet did and the Sahabas did. You cannot compare the effectiveness of one-to-one Dawah, but the reach is minimal. And one-to-one Dawah you can do it one at a time. The one-to-one Dawah can be extended to a gathering. Now we have maybe a few hundred people here. It can go to a few thousand, can go 10,000, 100,000, 1 million maximum. One-to-one Dawah is more effective. If you have a lecture in a group, then less effective, but the audience is more, so impact is more. The net reach is more. One-to-one impact is highest. And it does that hypothetically, it is a very good diet, very effective diet. Okay, if he sits with maybe 10 non-Muslims, each non-Muslim will take about 2 hours on average to talk about Islam. Maybe his effective rate, if he's a very good diet, 20% is very good. So if he meets with 10 dais, maybe he can convince 2. That's very good. I don't know dais who can convince out of 10 2. It's a very good call. So 20 hours to giving a lecture. Okay, 1 hour lecture, 2 hour lecture. How many are watching? 1,000, 10,000, 100,000. 20% won't accept. Even if 2% accept, if 1,000 are giving, 2% is 20. In 1 hour 20, the 20 hours 2. So which is better? Lecture. You go on the media satellite, you are reaching 50 million, 100 million. The percentage may be 0.001%, but the net people affecting every day may be hundreds. You're sitting at home. Your programs are continuing on the satellite. 100 million people are watching. Every day 100 is accepting Islam. Sitting at home. The time is once you produce it. So there's an effectiveness, one-to-one is the maximum best. That's what the Prophet did, the Sahabas did. Then lecture. Then comes the media. The larger you reach, the less effective, but the reach is more. So productivity, just to give you. So where it comes to one-to-one Dawah, we have a training session. And on this platform, Al-Hidayah, we have a program called as Let's Become Effective Dais. To become Dai, okay. Let's Become Effective Dais. This is the program, it's a course. So we had this training program, the first training program internationally we had in 1999. Then the next one we had was just before I was made to do Hijrah from India. That's in January, February 2016. And we had a program where we called 20 dwarfs from different parts of the world. And we trained them, from UK, from Holland, from Japan, from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Indonesia, from 12 different countries where 20 died. And the program was free, but we had effective program. We only spent about $2 million on training 20 people. $100,000 per person. There is no Dawah training that I know in the world, here at Harvard University, where they spent $2 million. Yes, the trainer may charge. This is without the cost of the trainer. I was free. But we had it secured in the best media, with the best of LED screens behind, with the best of technology. It was actually a world record that for 45 days we recorded. Every day, on average, about 10 hours, on 14 8K and 4K cameras, having more than about 3 or 5 petabytes. But Guinness Book did not accept, so you have to inform us 2 months in advance, it's too late. And that the excuses for not recording, but it was a world record. We secured it, and now it's coming on the platform Al-Hidayah. And what today science tells us, when a person gives a speech in public, the matter he speaks carries only 7% of weightage. 93% is presentation skills. How he modulates his voice, his gestures, his eye-to-eye contact. All this are presentation skills. So 93% of what you speak on the stage is presentation skills. 7% is matter. So in this training program, we are talking more about technique rather than Okay, inshallah. So we'll talk now.
We'll take a break of a second.
Okay, inshallah. Will I end it in 2 minutes or okay, I'll just finish in 2 minutes. Because here we don't realize when is the third, when is Maghrib, because everything is four. So the thing is that so this training program was mainly specialized in how to be effective dais, and we had this program. It is recorded on the best of cameras, and it's going to come on the platform of Alidaya. There we train about how to use the various technology of Dawah, the techniques. It was not a knowledge-based program, though there were more than 1,000 pages of matter, but it was more technique-based program. Here we teach number one, the 3 criteria required, and I'll end my talk here. There are 3 criteria required for you to be effective or effective anything, any good thing in the world you want to do. There are 3 criteria, including be effective. The number one is the help of Allah. Allah says in Surah Imran chapter 3 verse 160, if Allah helps you, none can overcome you. If Allah forsakes you, who is there then who can overcome you? Number one is help of Allah. Number 2, Allah says in Surah Ankabut chapter 29 verse 69, you strive in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will open up your pathway. Number 2 is striving and struggling, doing jihad. Number 3, Allah says, Fas'alu ahli zikri in kuntum ta'lamun. Surah Anbiya chapter 21 verse number 7 and Surah Nahl chapter 16 verse number 43. That if you don't know, ask the person who is knowledgeable. The third is technique. Number 1 is Allah's help. Number 2 is striving and struggling. Number 3 is technique. People say, oh doctor, how to get technique? I said, number 1 is how to get Allah's help, not technique. Technique is last. So in this program we show how to get Allah's help, then how to strive and struggle, and last is technique. These 3 are the formulas for any good work. And if you have this, you can be effective in whatever good work you want. For that, you can see the training program. I would like to end my talk so that inshallah we can have a break for the Asr Salah. And after that, inshallah, we'll have the question session. Wa akhiru da'wana alhamdulillah.